Real interesting interview there, Rebecca, and of course you have firsthand experience.
I do. So this topic is something, Jim, that I have been wanting to talk about for so long. I've never had the opportunity, but thanks to you and Josh for being good bosses, kind of gave me the green light to sort of do this interview and talk about endometriosis, which is amazing because I've been a journalist for a very long time. But I've never been assigned to cover anything about this disease, which kind of ties into exactly what we're talking about today, which
Yeah,
is
I've heard the term endometriosis before, but it was just, passed over me, never thought much about it.
right.
Didn't even know what it was really.
So for me, my symptoms started probably when I was around 16. And for me, it manifested itself as being a really, really bad period, but every month. So every month I had this debilitating pain. It felt like I describe it, it's a little visceral, but someone had an ice pick like inside of my stomach and was just kind of scratching.
And so, like your mom or family or friends, they would just say, "Oh, she just gets a really bad period."
That's what it's oftentimes
Right.
dismissed as. And then you feel bad, or at least I did when I was young, because women and people around me would say, look, everybody has pain during their period, everybody gets cramps, but I was so debilitated. Every month I'd missed school, I'd missed work. Cut to 15 years later, when I was 31 years old, I was living in Florida, Fort Myers. I was working for a digital news startup down there briefly. And I went to the doctor. I gave him the information that I'd given literally dozens of doctors before. All of my symptoms, I have these really painful periods. It's not normal. I don't have a lot to draw it to, like Heather was talking about, but it doesn't feel normal. I'm debilitated every month. I'm miserable. And he just threw out the E word. He's like, well, you probably have endometriosis. I thought, what is that? And then I had my first surgery. I've had four up
So
till
a relief to be diagnosed finally,
a relief to be
but then
diagnosed.
there's no clear fix.
There isn't. And that's why these kinds of documentaries, for me personally, are so important, because I would have liked to have known about it when I was 16. I would have liked to have learned about it. I would have liked to have known that for 15 years of my life, I wasn't crazy. I wasn't just complaining that I was in a lot of pain, because you're kind of cast aside as like a drama queen or a complainer
Right.
when you're saying you're in all this pain and it's every month. And, my mother and my sister now understand, but at the time they didn't, because how are
Sure.
you going to know? Everybody has a different pain threshold, right? So, it's not a fun disease to have. It wreaks havoc on your life. It can.
Is
And
there any lifestyle changes you can take to mitigate the symptoms?
that's a good question. So I've heard a bunch of things. I've heard that it's because it's an inflammatory disease. I think some people, not all, and this is not a cure, but some people, when they cut out dairy,
Yep.
it helps them, because for some people, dairy, I guess, causes inflammation from inside of the body. I've tried pretty much everything. I've had four surgeries. And I just wish I would have known when I was younger, because I could have planned things a little bit better. Like when
Sure.
you don't know, if you're getting diagnosed at 31 and then you're told, oh, this is a disease that causes infertility, might have been nice to know that
Right.
when you were younger, and then you could have planned accordingly. You could have frozen your eggs or frozen your embryos or done all of these things that are extremely expensive, but they're options, right? So like all of these things that I wish I would have known. If there's anybody, watching, if there's anybody who thinks that their symptoms aren't normal, if you're having a lot of pain every month, my advice would be, as somebody who has battled this for, I don't know how many, almost 20 years now, my advice would be that if you feel like something's wrong, go to your doctor. If they don't want to hear about it, go to another doctor. And if you feel like maybe your symptoms line up with endometriosis, it's very insidious. It can spread. You can get lesions on your lungs. My doctor was just telling me there was a patient who ended up in the hospital because her lung collapsed. It's very serious, but it doesn't get enough. It doesn't get
Well,
enough
there's a
time.
good chance someone watching is afflicted. 1 in 10 women.
Exactly.
So.
Thank you. See? Thank you. But yeah, so hopefully, if you're feeling this and you feel like nobody's really understanding, bring it up to your doctor. Talk about endometriosis. Do the research. the only way to be diagnosed is through a laparoscopic surgery where they'll make small incisions, which I know if you saw the poster, they're all circled and they're all scars on the woman's stomach. Those are all the different surgeries, so I can relate to that. Talk to them about it, see what your insurance can do for you, see if your doctor can put through the surgery so that it's covered. I know that's not an option for everybody, but there's a good community of women, myself included, who understand it, that are frustrated by it. And I hope that this documentary comes out. I hope we're all able to watch it. And,
a lot of people getting together with families too. So you may have someone in mind now in your family who has these types of symptoms. So it might be a good time, this coming holiday weekend to have the discussion.
Why not?
Yep.
I think it's, for me, I wish somebody would have talked
It's
to me
not very
about it.
Christmassy.
It's not. No, it's not Christmassy. It's not a fun topic. It's not a fun disease.
But it's important, and there might be someone in your family suffering.
Or just reach out to me. I'm here for you. So that is going to do it for this edition of Finger Lakes Today. Remember, for the latest news, weather, sports, and podcasts, download the FingerLakes1.com app. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have a great day.